Hey, Zion, hope you're holding up all right. I just want to ask you what this week has been like, what it's like to relocate, get your family, to be in another city and trying to prepare an unfamiliar stadium and facility and everything else, getting ready for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty chaotic as an overall, but in times like this, it really bring the team together, getting to spend time with a little bit extra time with our families at work, and then just seeing everybody go through this together. We're definitely is a time to become closer as a group, but it is chaotic and we're praying for Tampa Bay, and it's just a devastating situation that we're all
Thanks, Zion.
Casey Allen.
Hey Zion, just want to ask you. Got a couple speedsters this week with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. What have you seen on tape from them that makes them so dangerous? And what do you plan to do to limit that?
Yeah, they definitely have really good play speed and they run these routes fast. And when they hit top speed, I mean, they go. And all three of those quarterbacks have a pretty good deep ball and they just allow those receivers to run under it. So as a defense, we need to disrupt the route. Us as a corner room, we need to get hands on. We need to stop their momentum. If they don't get a head start going, then they're not able to reach that top speed, throw a little bit of the timing off. So we'll mix in a lot of things.
Rick Stroud.
Hey, Zion, obviously Carr's not supposed to play. When you're playing younger quarterbacks, maybe a guy like Spencer Rattler, I mean, do you approach things any different? Are you more aggressive? Are you mindful of what these guys can do? Like, just how does that change, if at all, sort of what you think you can do back there?
Yeah, it doesn't really change too much in terms of I'm trying to be aggressive every week, no matter who's playing quarterback. But
Yeah.
knowing a younger guy coming in, he has things that he knows that he's good at and that he's comfortable with. And so seeing what he's best at, that's probably what they'll do a little bit more of. And so coming in, he throws a really good deep ball but he is young, so they might try to keep the scheme a little bit simple for him. We prepare all the same no matter what. But going in as a game time, you're definitely trying to get into the younger guys' heads, trying to show them different looks, give them a little bit of chaos to have to deal with, and take away what they're best at.
Thanks, Zion.
Jenna Lane.
Hey Zion, good to see you. For you, so much preparation goes into what you're doing as a DB. And how does having to relocate and some of those logistical things, how does that impact your preparation?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I probably have a little bit more time to prepare. I know it's a little bit chaotic and we're over here at the hotel, but I mean, downtime, I don't have to drive home every day. I'm already at the hotel. And we as a group, if I have a question late at night, I don't have to send a text. I can just go and knock on somebody's door and get the answer right away. And so it is a little bit more chaotic. We're in a different place. But in terms of film study, I mean, I think that I'm able to get even more film study, become even more prepared because it's hard to be not locked in when we're stuck in a hotel every day.
And if I may, Coach Bowles, we had asked him about that last play against the Falcons. I know you're probably trying to block that out of your mind, but he had said that you had played it right. Like you went for the ball on that. Does what happened there kind of change how you would approach something like that in the future? Or would you still continue to play it that same way?
I'm definitely going to continue to be aggressive. I mean, it was in the right spot. I just need to make that play. So the motivation more for me is shifted towards going even faster, making that play even quicker, jumping that route uh, even faster to intercept it and not just, make the tackle. And if I am not going to get there in time, then I need to secure the tackle and then make the play. So there are definitely things that I can learn and that I will learn and getting better. But as me, I'm going to continue to play aggressive like that.
Thanks so much.
Evan Winter.
Hey Zion, recently one of the top NFL analysts said you're playing at a Pro Bowl level. I just wanted to know what you think of getting that kind of attention and does it motivate you even more than you already are?
Sure. I mean, everything I try to take as motivation, negative or positive. And I'm not really too worried about how I'm playing as an overall game. I'm just taking it day by day and doing the little things. When I go out there on Sundays, I'm not doing anything more than just trying to do my job and make the plays that come to me. Whenever the season is all done and over with, then I'll be able to take an outlook of how the year went. But as of right now, I'm solely focused on getting better and beating the Saints.
We have time for a few more. We'll go back to Rick Stroud.
Zyon, maybe this is obvious and you can respond to it, but if Antoine Winfield Jr., when he comes back, and there's a chance that he could this week, just how does that change things on the back end for you guys with him and Jordan, assuming Jordan's in the game too?
Oh yeah, I mean, Antoine is a special player, so whenever he does have the opportunity to come back, it definitely changes things a little bit in the back end. We're able to play faster. Communication is a little bit more seamless just because of training camp and getting so much in with those guys. And he's a dynamic player. I mean, everybody knows that. So he can tackle, he can cover, and he can make a big play.
Thanks.
River Wells.
Hey Zion. Obviously, it's been pretty chaotic here, preparing for Milton in the game, as you mentioned. But with the NFC South race being as tight as this early, how important is it to stay focused and both understand that sense of urgency that this is a pretty big game?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important. We don't want to fall behind in this NFC South, especially this year with it being so competitive, with there being the caliber and quarterbacks that can get the job done. We have to do everything we can, do the little things, and come out with these wins, especially here in the early season with the schedule that we have coming up. These wins, especially in the division, are extremely important. I mean, it should be a playoff atmosphere.
Rod Walker.
Hey, Zion, having grown up in Galveston, have you experienced, a hurricane before? And if so, what's kind of your advice to your teammates as far as just how to compartmentalize it? And
100%, we deal with hurricanes a lot growing up, and in Galveston, taking the procedures the right way. If your family is in an evacuation zone, they need to evacuate. Mother Nature is not one to be played with, and so, but honestly, it is a very big deal. The flooding will probably be the biggest thing, is what I've been trying to tell people. It's not necessarily the rain and everything itself, but the surge is what's the most important. So just making sure that everybody's families are in the right place. If you're in an evacuation zone, please, please, please evacuate.
Last question from JC Allen.
Zion, you set lofty goals for yourself, 6 interceptions. Your play has been, as Evan mentioned, Pro Bowl caliber. Just kind of how important was it for you going up against guys like Chris and Mike every day in practice, and just taking the feedback that you got from coaches, tackling and stuff like that, and improving in this season to reach the level of play that you're at now?
I mean, it's huge. Going through training camp, I try to put as much pressure on myself as possible. If I go into every day in practice and I think that it's a game day, or I line up against Mike and I'm like, okay, 2-minute last play of the game, this is the rep I need, just to try to put myself in positions to where I'm feeling pressure, to where I'm putting pressure on myself. So on game day, it doesn't feel like as much pressure. I feel like the game's slower and I'm able to play at a high level with that confidence. And so going up against guys like Mike and Chris, Baker throwing it to him, I mean, it makes me the player that I am. It has made me the player that I am, and I'm going to keep on working.